They're uploaded.
Oh, that's like recess right there. Like in front of last recess.
Lost recess down here.
No, online.
There's E-tape here. Use E-tape. Hang out this side. This time. I'll try to watch
30
what I
seconds. Welcome to the Edmonds 4th of July Parade, brought to you from myedmondsnews.com, presented by Edmonds Community College. I'm Teresa Whipple with Larry Vogel, and Larry, you found a beard.
I did. You're going to see a lot of beards today in honor of George Brackett.
That's right. They were wearing those during the run, weren't they?
That's correct. Yes,
Yeah.
It was a Beat Brackett run, and George Brackett was leading the pack, I understand.
Well, very good. We have a lot of stuff to show you today. We have the Children's Parade that's going to be coming down the street momentarily. It looks like they're heading our way. Just wanted to let you know that if you missed this, know somebody who missed this, you can watch it later. It'll be archived on myedmondsnews.com. We'll be showing you the Children's Parade first, followed by the main parade, and maybe some interviews and some film clips of the parade, some goings-on ahead of time for your viewing pleasure.
It's going to be a fun day.
It is going to be a great day, and we are so fortunate to be under shade today. It's a hot one out there. We were in the middle of a heat wave, and we were worried we were going to be a little fried, but here we are under the shade. So thank you, Edmonds Chamber of Commerce, who's also helping us with this live streaming, for giving us shade.
They're calling for what, 85 today?
85 today, yeah.
It's very good to be out of the,
It's
sun.
very good, and it looks like we have in the distance the Children's Parade coming down the street. They are sponsored by Windermere Real Estate of Edmonds. They sponsor the Children's Parade every year. They have thousands of entries who come into this kids' parade. Lots of kids on scooters and all dressed up. We saw them running around here before. There's just some great stuff going on in Edmonds this year. 125 years in Edmonds, celebrating the anniversary, right, Larry?
Indeed, yes. It'll be August 11th, actually, will be the official date of Edmonds' 125th birthday.
Okay, and there will be a day-long celebration or an afternoon-long celebration that day, 125th anniversary here in downtown Edmonds. So you'll be seeing more about that later. So
yeah, I understand there'll be a street dance and and time capsule.
Is going to be, yeah.
It's going to be quite a festive event.
Yes, it will. And the Edmonds Museum, a lot of it, what's going to be happening will be centered in the museum itself, because they have a new plaza renovation, beautiful renovation that you took some pictures of earlier this year.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. So here we have all of the agents of Windermere Real Estate saying hello to the crowd. And I would say, as always, the parade route is lined with people. There are an estimated, I think, close to 10,000 people who come to this parade every year and line the parade route. And it is one of the best parades, I would say, all around. I'm a little biased, but I think it's one of the best parades around.
I think we're a lot biased.
Yeah, we're a lot biased. And just so you know, as we're watching the children's parade come through, on your calendars for later today, at 2:30 p.m., there will be something called water ball, and that is where the firefighters actually shoot water from a fire hose at balls that are strung across, or a ball that's strung across City Park, and that's actually like a tug-of-war. Well, it looks like we have the Edmonds police on their bicycles going through, too. So once that happens, when the water ball is over, then later in the day at 6 p.m., there will be actually at Civic Field, where the fireworks will be later tonight, they will have pétanque lessons. They're going to teach people how to play pétanque. And then, of course, the fireworks are at 10
Now,
p.m. tonight.
Pétanque is the game that originated in France,
It's
correct?
French,
and
yeah.
it's something like bocce ball, only
That's right.
the French variety, a little
That's
north
right.
of bocce ball.
Yeah, and there are a lot of avid pétanque players here. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to play pétanque, here's the time to do it. So let's take a look at all these kids, my gosh, and their parents. We've got bicycles, we've got scooters, they're waving at us. This is just
Looks
great
great
stuff. You know, they do give winners of the parade for the children's parade. The 5 categories are most historic, most patriotic, best bike and scooter, best wagon and stroller, and most original. So some of these kids, oh, and there's Ronald McDonald. So we've got all kinds of good entries coming along here who are red, white, and blue. We've got your sparklers
Oh,
and
look
your...
at the kids in the wagon here.
Oh,
This is
I love
wonderful.
that. Look at those guys. Yeah. And we've got people giving out necklaces. Oh, sure. Thank you. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Now we have a necklace. I'll put that on later. And there's I think they probably got a shot earlier
Oh,
of
there's
the
a 125th
125th
birthday
anniversary
cake.
float. Yeah, that's great stuff. Yep. And we have a bunch of kids who are, look at the one with the kid playing the guitar there. The rock and roll
Nice.
float. Boy, I hope that's an award
That's
winner.
an air guitar, inflatable.
Yeah, they should definitely. Oh, and there's an army tank. There's some creative entries this year. I don't remember some of these from last year. And it looks like we have a
Look at
bunch
that
of kids
bicycle
on.
with all the
Well,
flags.
Yeah,
My
and
gosh.
scooters. My gosh, those Razor scooters are everywhere, all decorated out. Quite a popular thing. And look at the guy with the peace hat. That's nice. Very nice. So we mentioned earlier that Edmonds
George
Community
Brackett is what I am.
Edmonds Community College is the sponsor of our live streaming, and we want to thank you very much for doing that. They have been such a contributor to the community, and the fact that we're able to bring this parade live to you is because of Edmonds Community College's support. So thank you to them. And I heard a rumor that we actually have some retirement homes in the area that are on watching us live this morning. Some of their folks can't get out because of the heat, and so they're watching us right now. So Edmonds Landing, I know the people there are watching us, so hello to everybody at Edmonds Landing.
Indeed. Let's give a big shout out to the folks who can't be here but are watching the parade this
welcome.
way. This
Welcome
is
to this
wonderful.
broadcast.
We're so glad that we can bring this to you.
You know, I remember last year, Larry, people kept throwing candy at us, and so far we've had none. Is it something we said?
Maybe it's because we're in the shade. I don't know.
Maybe that's it.
I don't
maybe
know.
that's it. But lots of flags in red, white, and blue, and kids in strollers. This is such a wonderful family event, and people just show up. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. The kids get all dressed up and excited, and they're waving.
I love all the kids on the bicycles,
I know.
you know. Gosh.
It's great stuff.
You know, many years ago during the Children's Parade, one of the big parts of the Children's Parade, of course, is children here riding bicycles. And my son, who was like 6 years old at the time, decided he wanted to be in the Children's Parade, but he didn't know how to ride a two-wheeler yet. And on July 3rd, he went to the schoolyard and learned how to ride that two-wheeler.
Because he wanted to
So
be in
July
that parade.
4th, he rode it in the parade. The first full day he was riding the bicycle.
What a motivator. That's awesome. That's great news. Okay, we got some
Hey,
American flags.
I'll
That's
take 'em.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, that's our first donation of the day. Well,
Well,
we'll have a lot of loot by the time we're done.
yeah. Hey, there's another beard. Okay. Okay, I see another
So
beard.
you're not the only one. I
No,
wonder
I'm
how
not.
long you're going to last with that beard, Larry. That's my question.
It's starting to feel that natural, like it's a real part of me.
Oh, right. Well, if we decide to live stream a Santa Claus parade, you'll be the first guy in line.
Well, no, it's a big year though to honor George Brackett and as the founder of the town. We are coming up on the 125th anniversary of the founding of Edmonds, and George did play a major role
Right.
in founding this
Brackett's
place.
Landing is named after him. If anybody's
That's
been
correct,
down that
yeah.
way, the beach area that's just to the north of the ferry dock, that is Brackett's Landing, and it's named after our founder.
And I love the story about how when he applied to the Secretary of State for Edmonds to be incorporated, that his initial application was turned down because he was 2 signatures short.
Right.
And he, not to be deterred, he added the names of his 2 lead oxen, Simon and Bolivar Brackett, to the petition, and it went through.
That's a great story. To become a city on the names of your oxen.
Yes.
That's a wonderful claim to fame for Edmonds, for sure. Oh, we got some people blowing bubbles in the parade. I mean, all kinds of creativity going on here. This is fun. This is great. I would say, given my memory of last year, this seems like a much larger parade. I think there's more entries than last year.
It's true. And I think that just what you're seeing here in this parade shows what a great family town Edmonds is.
Yeah, it really does. And really more and more so all the time. I was speaking with some city officials about this in the last few months, and I have noticed there are more strollers being pushed around in town. There's more expectant moms wandering around.
Uh-huh.
We actually have a shop for expectant moms right there in the middle of downtown now. I don't think we would have seen that 10 years ago. The city is really becoming more of a place for families to be, and it's great to see. And this parade is an indicator of that.
Excellent schools, clean environment, good business community.
Yeah.
What more can you want?
Well, and it's a town where you can put your chair out for the parade 4 days early and nobody steals it.
People might complain.
Yeah. Well, that's another story. But the fact you can put your chair out and that nobody steals it is pretty amazing, really. So, yeah, we love Edmonds. We're glad to be here and glad to be bringing you this children's parade right from downtown Edmonds. We'll have the live parade, the main parade, starting at noon. But this is the kids' parade with thousands of children and their parents coming by, all in red, white, and blue of some kind. Scooters and strollers and wagons and bicycles and you name it. We have got quite a group coming by here. And as we get closer to the main parade, there's a lot that we will be able to talk about in terms of the history of Edmonds, in terms of some of the floats. We have some old historic pictures that we'll be able to show you. We've got some great pictures of there was a pet parade. We don't have a pet parade this year.
Well, I've seen a couple of dogs walking in this one.
Right, but the one that you have, a historic photo that we saw earlier, was actually of dogs, the specific parade meant for pets, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, their part of it was the pet parade.
Yeah,
And people
yeah.
would parade their dogs
Yeah.
as part of this event.
So that long ago, people were still crazy for their animals. That's good to know. Seen more than a few superhero-themed kids here. Lots of children wearing capes and that kind of thing. It's pretty amazing that they've got that going on as well. Some Star Wars T-shirts. Lots of scooters. Lots of those Blade scooters all dressed up, decked out. Yeah, and they just keep coming. I do not.
Hey, there's
think-
some more beards. Hi, kids.
Great, I love
All right.
it. Love it. Some people have given up. I can see this one kid had the beard around his neck. I think it got a little hot for him, is yours getting hot yet? Are you still hanging in there with the beard?
Thank goodness I'm in the shade.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
It covers up my face, so that's probably a good thing. I don't want to break the camera.
I tried it. I tried that beard on, as you know, and it just wasn't quite the right look for me. So I think it's better for you than for me. So thank you for putting that on. There's a nice, look at that float. What is that? Is that a fish?
That looks like a
Oh, it's
rocket.
a rocket.
A rocket.
Oh my gosh, a rocket ship on top of a stroller. That's great. Very nice. Yep, everybody's waving. Very nice. Yeah, I love this. Love people coming through like this. All kinds
Now, looking
of
up the
strollers.
street, it's still
It's still
it's still
going.
like out of sight up the
I mean,
street.
I hope we get a number from the Chamber of Commerce later on how many participants there were, but I know this is longer.
Well, I'm going to say that the number
of
of participants is almost going to equal the number of spectators.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a lot. Thousands that have come through, I would say. So we are, and I still don't see an end. I still don't see an end.
I don't
We've
see an
still
end.
got a lot of people coming through, a lot of kids who are continuing to be pushed and self-propelled with tricycles and bicycles, and several children already starting the day off with sugar with suckers in their mouths, which is appropriate on the 4th of July, don't you think? Little sugar to
Oh,
start
there's
the
a
day.
unicycle.
Oh, look at the unicycle. with
Check
the
out the
top hat.
unicycle.
That's great. You know, I would never have the courage to try one of those things. I was always afraid
neither would
I'd
I.
end up sideways. We got some Cub Scouts.
Cub Scouts with
Cub
beards.
Scouts carrying their
You know, this beard is starting to grow on me.
Literally?
Literally.
Maybe you should grow one.
I had one for a while.
Yeah,
and,
didn't like it?
Well, I just didn't. I forgot what I looked like without it, so it was time to take it off about 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, some candy is being thrown. I don't know. We're still not getting any candy. I'm a little disappointed by the lack of candy being thrown at us this year.
That's okay. We're sweet enough.
It's true. We are sweet enough. Yes. And, oh, what's that? That's a fairly, look at that. Look at that float. What is that up there?
Oh my!
That's actually a fairly big float for a children's parade standard. What
Yeah.
did they? Oh, it's a trailer. That's what they did. They took a trailer and they put stuff around it, like a
Stanchions,
trailer
yeah.
you'd put behind your SUV or something to tow things.
Yeah. Happy 4th of
Very,
July. It looks
very
great.
clever. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it is continuing. My gosh. Honestly, I can't believe how many people are continuing to go. Continuing to come down here. It is just overwhelming how many people are coming down the street still. I mean, I'm saying
Well-
3 times as many.
Well, Edmonds is a town of 40,000 population, and there's. I think we're seeing more than 40,000 people. People are coming in from outside the area.
I'm guessing that some have come from outside the area. Because truthfully, you know, there are so many, not that many children's parades. I mean, I know in Seattle with Seafair, they have some children's parades in the various neighborhoods, but, you know, this is Linwood, and Linwood doesn't have a 4th of July parade, and Mount Lake Terrace doesn't. So in terms of South Snohomish County, this is kind of a one-time deal. So this is a neat thing for the community and for the surrounding communities as well. Yep. Yeah, this is good stuff. And Larry, I just wanted to mention, for those of you who are watching, I did notice that Jean Hernandez, the president of Edmonds Community College, just peeked her head around the broadcast booth. She is here, so we're going to talk with her as soon as the Children's Parade is over, briefly. Edmonds Community College, again, is sponsoring the live streaming of both the Children's and the main parade, and we thank them again for their support.
Indeed, that's really great of them to be doing that.
It really is, and they're actually marching in the parade too. I know that Jean Hernandez, the president, along with some of the international students, will be marching in the main parade. They have a huge number of students who come from outside of the U.S. to attend Edmonds Community College, and it's great to have them, be in the parade. And I'm sure for them, being in a 4th of July parade, as being someone from outside the U.S., is probably exciting.
Many of these international students get a chance to live with families here in Edmonds.
That's right. That's right, they do. Edmonds and probably Linwood and some other places nearby. And ironically, Edmonds Community College is technically in Linwood, which we always laugh about because it's not in Edmonds, but it does serve Edmonds, Linwood, Mount Lake Terrace, and those nearby communities. I mean, anybody can go there, but it is definitely a school of choice for a lot of the local students.
I think we got the
Looks
final
like we are
stragglers here. We're
winding
getting down
yes,
to the end of
we
the
are.
Children's Parade.
Yes, finally. Finally at the end. Incredible. Well, I think what we're going to do now, as soon as we're ready, is we will scoot you out and scoot Jean Hernandez in. And when they give us the signal, we will do that.
Sounds
okay?
good.
All right.
Who else needs this?
Actually, give it to her. She'll be sure.
This is for the broadcast. I thought I was supposed to give out 3 copies.
That's one of those offers.
Yeah. Do you know if anyone else? No. Okay. Cool.
Let's just walk down this way.
Look at you or the camera.
No.
Okay.
And we're back at the Edmonds 4th of July Parade. I'm Teresa Whipple, your host, and with me is Jean Hernandez, president of Edmonds Community College. Welcome, Jean.
Thank you so much, Teresa. It's a pleasure to be here.
I am so thrilled you could join us before you go off and do your marching in the parade.
We will, and it's also an honor to be a presenting sponsor for My Edmonds News. We're really pleased to be doing that.
We are so thrilled to have you, and it is thanks to Edmonds Community College that we're actually able to bring this parade to everybody today. So tell me a little bit about what's going on at the college right now. I know you are involved in so many different things, both in the community and nationally and internationally. What is the big thing going on right now?
Well, right now we're having an exciting summer. We actually have 7 of our students and 3 staff in South Africa at an international conference, and they'll be returning in a week. And then we also have quite a number of summer programs for youth going on our campus around STEM, cybersecurity, and things like that. And of course, we're getting ready for fall quarter.
That's
Very
right.
excited about that.
That'll be here before we know it.
It will. Yes.
So you are focused quite a bit on the STEM fields, as I would imagine, because there are so many students in this area who are studying STEM, right?
We are. And you know what's really exciting for us is not only do we have great faculty teaching wonderful courses, we also have a National Science Foundation grant that gives our students scholarships of about $4,000 for 4 years.
Wow.
And they really should look into applying for those scholarships through our campus.
Yeah, it's great, because if anybody is watching this, they should know that kind of money is available for that.
Definitely.
That's terrific. And what else in terms of, I know that there's some international students who are marching in the parade today,
Yes.
and that is something that Edmonds Community College has, a really amazing amount of diversity in terms of students from different countries, right?
We do. We have about 1,200 students who are from 80 different countries.
Wow.
The students that are marching today will be in some of their native dress attire. And part of why they're doing this is to increase awareness about homestay opportunities in the community. This is where students stay in private homes and actually share our culture more directly by being with these families.
That's a great idea. So if somebody wants to actually host a student and kind of learn about another culture, that would be a great way to do it.
Yes, and they'll have flyers they're handing out, so there'll be
Okay.
more information there for them too.
Good. Now, if somebody's watching and doesn't happen to be here to get a flyer, would they just call the college and find out more?
Yes, they can call our homestay department, and it's in the International Student Services area,
Okay.
or through our residence hall, but we'll be glad to provide more information.
Okay, great. Well, Jean, I'm going to let you go because I know you need to get back to
I have to
your...
hustle up to the hill.
Hustle up the hill to
Yes.
your float, or your you're walking, actually, right?
I am
You're not
walking.
on a float. Okay.
I am.
Well, stay cool out there. Drink
Thank you.
lots of water.
And happy 4th of July to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being
Teresa.
here, Jean. Okay, take care. Bye. All right. Well, we are going to now give Larry a chance to get back into the booth. Thanks to Jean Hernandez, the president of Edmonds Community College, for stopping by. We're going to get back and get ready for the main parade. Larry, welcome back. Yes. Was
While we were gone.
a shave and a hat.
Oh, well, we don't need the hat now that I'm under here.
All right. Oh, it was great to talk with Jean Hernandez. I forgot about the big focus that the college has on STEM programs right now, because, Edmonds School District has a lot of STEM students, and that is science, technology, engineering, and math for anybody who doesn't know. So let's talk about parade coming up. We have got about 90 entries that we're going to be seeing
90.
soon.
Now, is that more than usual?
I think it's about the same. The chamber
Is it?
said it's about the same number. And when we get going and describing the broadcast, they're going to be coming fairly fast and furious, those entries. They're really going to be coming along quick. So we'll do our best to try to describe them without going through. And we do have actually the parade winners, which we're going to describe as they come by. I'm not going to reveal those now. That'll be when they come by down the street. But let's talk a little bit about the 125th anniversary celebration and what is going to be happening now with the museum. Now, they renovated the plaza outside of the historic Carnegie Library
Correct,
building,
yes.
which is now the Edmonds Museum building.
Yes, the Carnegie Library was built in 1910.
Okay.
And it's a classic Georgian structure. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. It's actually on the Edmonds Register of Historic Places.
Yeah.
And for many years, the front grounds were, I don't know, I guess for lack of a better word, were getting overgrown. It wasn't a terribly inviting space. And one of the things that the museum wanted to do was create a public space so that people could enjoy being next to this historic building and be in a pleasant space. And that is exactly what has happened this year. The project's happening in 2 phases, and the south part is completed now, and the north part will be probably a couple of years out.
And remind people where the museum is located in downtown Edmonds if they haven't been there.
It's directly across the street from City Hall.
Okay.
If you go down to the fountain, if you're coming down into Edmonds on Main Street, go down to the fountain, take a right turn, and it's half a block away.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
easy to get to.
Yeah.
One of the features of the plaza is the historic school bell. This bell was installed first in the Edmonds Elementary School in 1891, of all things, called children to classes back then. The bell was removed from there when the old building was torn down, and it was the bell in the old Hughes United Methodist Church that was down here in downtown Edmonds.
Okay.
When that building was torn down in '59, it was put in storage. The museum got it in the mid-'70s and installed it outside. And it was in an old structure made of timbers and jersey barriers. This year, it has a brand new structure made at a steel shop up in Stanwood.
Right.
With an archway at the top that reflects the architecture of the building.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
I saw pictures of it, and we actually had those on My Edmonds News along
We
with the
do,
article, and
we
they
do.
polished up the bell, didn't they?
And well, one of the things, and I'm going to put in a shameless plug for the museum here, to raise additional money for the expansion of the plaza going north, they're selling paving tiles in the museum, personalized paving tiles.
right.
And at the market this coming Saturday, that would be a week from today, tiles will be on sale in front of the museum, and the clapper will be freed on the bell, and it's going to be buy a tile, ring the bell.
What a great promotion. So if
So,
anybody's
yes.
wanted to have their name on a tile
Or to
for
ring the
all
old school
time,
bell.
or to ring the school bell, you can just pay for a tile, which goes to helping to continue to renovate the museum, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful old building. If you have not, a lot of people don't even know we have a museum. I know that before I actually helped out with the museum board, I didn't know we had a museum. It's a beautiful building, and there's a lot of historic artifacts of the town in there, and so it's something definitely that you should, we would say that you should support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And buying an engraved tile is a chance for you to put your name on the city of
Yeah.
Edmonds forever.
Right.
An
Now,
enduring legacy.
let's just because we have a few moments here before the parade starts, let's talk a little bit about the history of the parades here. The first parade was in 1906. Is that the photo
Well,
that you had seen at one point?
The earliest photo in existence of a 4th of July parade is from 1903. And that one is one that we have in our collection here, and maybe we can flash it up on the screen in a little bit.
Yeah.
But that photo shows the float from the International Order of Odd Fellows, the first
wow.
fraternal organization here in Edmonds. And this one, the Odd Fellows were here from 1891, I believe, on. But that picture, again, is from 1903.
Okay. And it was interesting when we were looking at some of those photos earlier that there are quite a few interesting kind of historical things that went on. There were some grand marshals from previous parades that we had photos of, and we also will be able to mention those as we have the grand marshal for this year's parade come
Absolutely,
through.
yes.
Who is, there's the Odd Fellows. We've
Okay.
got the Odd Fellows.
Yes, this is the Odd Fellows float from the 1903 parade, and the International Order of Odd Fellows, again, formed here in 1891. They built their hall, which still exists today, and it's on the Edmonds Register of Historic Places.
Okay.
And today it's the home of reliable floor coverings. So
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that building's been there since 1891.
Okay.
I mean, 1 year after Edmonds was incorporated.
Okay, that's great. And one of the photos that we had earlier of the historic parade from the pet parade, I think we talked about being able to show that one too, if we can see that one. That was kind of fun to see people. Yeah, there they are.
There's
What year was that from?
There's the pet parade, and that one is
49
I
or
wanna
something like that.
say that one looks like 1948.
Okay.
And that's right down the street from where we're sitting right now at 5th and Main by where the fountain is.
Where the fountain is, and there's somebody with their pet right there. And oh, there's another one.
And this is the children's parade lining up in 1916. And I'm not sure if the resolution on the picture is good enough for the folks who are watching this streaming to see it, but that kid on the horse in front has a mustache painted right across his face.
That's great stuff.
So not a bracket beard, but hey, close enough.
Good enough, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Here we are again, lined up for the pet parade. This is also, that one's going to be, let me get a date for you, 1948, lined up for the pet parade.
All right. So that pet parade, I wonder when they stopped doing it. I'll have to ask the chamber the next time I talk with them and find out when they stopped doing the pet parade.
I don't know.
Because there's a lot of pets in Edmonds still. Maybe they just couldn't fit that into the children's parade and the main parade.
Well, I think many of the pet activities now go on down at the dog park,
Yeah. Well, that's
which
true.
wasn't here in
That's true.
1948.
You know, another photo that it'd be great to see is, because I find this woman fascinating in terms of her history in Edmonds, is that of Frances Anderson. She was one of the grand marshals of the parade for many years ago, and she is, anybody who's gone to the Frances Anderson, is that the right one up there?
That would be, no, that's Gertie Perrin.
That's okay.
Frances Anderson
There-
is picture number 11.
Okay, we'll talk about Gertie while
We
she's
can
up
talk
on
about
the-
Gertie while she's here. Oh, there's
Frances.
There's
Okay,
Frances
we'll come back
Anderson.
to Gertie.
Okay.
So Frances, you talk about her. If anybody's been to the Frances Anderson Center in downtown Edmonds, it is the kind of the rec center that's run by the city, and it's a former elementary school, right? And talk a little bit about Frances Anderson's contribution
Well,
to Edmonds.
Frances Anderson, you could hardly have lived in Edmonds in the 20th century and not been touched in some way by Frances Anderson. She was born in Montana in 1890, and her father worked for the railroad, and he was called out here. I think Frances was only about 5 years old when she moved here to Seattle, because her dad was a track runner for the Great Northern Railroad. And she went to school here at Edmonds Elementary School.
Right.
She was in the first graduating class from Edmonds High School in 1911.
Got it.
And she went to the University of Washington to get a teaching degree. Now, while at the University of Washington, she managed to get 3 varsity letters. She was quite the athlete in a number of sports, very athletically oriented. After graduation, she came back to Edmonds and was hired to teach. She started teaching 2nd grade, and in 1924 became principal of Edmonds Elementary School.
Wow.
And stayed principal until 1949, when she retired to go back to teaching 2nd grade, and finally in 1959 retired completely.
Wow. And she lived till into her 90s, right?
She lived to be almost 100 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
She died in 1990, about 2 months short of Edmonds' 100th anniversary.
And now, 25 years later, we're about ready to celebrate 125. And this is, of course, a picture of her in the parade as the Grand Marshal in 1970 something.
That
if I
one would
remember
be,
correctly.
I'll get a date on that guy. That is under here.
But just a wonderful, wonderful woman, and quite a contributor to the community.
That
and
would be
that's why-
1973 when she was parade
1973
Grand
was
Marshal.
the parade Grand Marshal, okay. And then we also had Gertie Perrin from Perrinville, if anybody knows where Perrinville is. That is the other Grand Marshal we had. Now, it looks like we are going to get started with the parade, Larry. I see the police coming through.
There's Gertie right there.
Okay,
she was
there's
Grand
Gertie
Marshal
Perrin. All right.
in 1985.
Okay. So now we've got the Edmonds Police Motorcycle Unit headed by Sergeant Carl Roth, and they are coming down the street. So we will wait to get that shot of the police motorcycle folks coming soon. Should be showing any time now.
And the police motorcycle team has been a part of the parade for many years as well.
Yeah, yes,
and
they have.
We have an historic photo from 1968
Uh-huh.
of the police motorcycle team. I think they were riding Harley Davidsons back then.
Oh, okay. I don't know my motorcycles, sadly, very well, but these are pretty impressive looking bikes, and they do usually like some figure eights and some other fun stuff when they come down. See if they do something.
Here they go.
There they go. Yeah, it's always fun to watch them go around. Yep, There they are.
Yeah, there they go. All right.
Wouldn't be good if they crashed into each other.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Yep. There they go. Yay, Edmonds Police. All right. And it looks like we
Oh, they're
will-
Harleys again this year. They're back on
Okay,
Harleys.
well, see,
all right.
there you go. You know, we've got a little bit of a break in the parade here until we have some more exhibits. Exhibits probably the wrong term. What do you call them? I'm not thinking clearly.
I'll stick with that.
Exhibits.
Exhibits.
I think we've been out. We can't
Entries.
even.
How about that?
There you go. Entries. We haven't even been out in the sun long enough to use that as an excuse.
Well, we won't this year because we have the canopy.
Yeah,
thank you.
goodness. So I don't know if we have the ability to talk about some of the other events that have gone on, but we actually have some video coming up of the race. We were talking about why you were wearing the Beat Bracket Run
do I need that,
beard.
the beard
Well, if you'd
back?
like to hold it back up to show, we gave out beards. The founder of Edmonds, as we mentioned, he was the theme of this year's run, and the idea is to beat a runner dressed as George Brackett, who had a George Brackett beard on. And I have not received the name yet of the finisher of the run, but that is what that was all about and why the run itself was shown. So,
Well, it's interesting on that bracket run. The person who portrayed George Brackett, and we won't
Yeah.
give his name out at this point, I
right,
suppose.
because we're still pretending he's George Brackett,
Because we're still
right?
pretending he's George
Yeah.
Brackett, but he really took on the role, and he totally channeled George Brackett. George Brackett was one tough guy.
Yeah.
And I think our person who was leading the bracket run got that.
Yeah. Well, he seemed to be, and I'm hearing some fire engine sounds, so I'm guessing we've got Snohomish County Fire District 1 coming down the street. Now, they are the fire and emergency service provider for Edmonds, Mount Lake Terrace, Briar, and unincorporated Snohomish County. So they do a lot of firefighting work in our area, making sure that this property and homes are safe. Fireworks are dry conditions and
Well, I think you make a really good point that should be underscored, Teresa, about the hot weather that we've had and the dry conditions. And we're today on Fireworks Day. And please, everyone, be careful with your fireworks.
actually fireworks are illegal in every city in South
Leading the way is Engine 17 for fire station 17 here in downtown Edmonds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I think all the little kids are plugging their ears at this moment. So yes, that is engine 17.
Next up is Engine 17, also based on fire station 17.
I love those sirens. It's good that there aren't dogs here. They'd be howling.
I said the kids were plugging their ears. Actually, there's a bunch of adults plugging their
Following the 8 car is ladder 20.
So as we mentioned before, we've got the paramedic unit, followed by the ladder, industry guy.
Well, you know,
see that coming down the
those
street.
sirens are pretty loud, but you know, for folks of our generation, our hearing has been destroyed by listening to rock music. And one of the bands was REO Speedwagon, and here comes a REO Speedwagon fire truck.
I think I'm going to give you a gold star for that segue.
How about that? Wasn't that good?
That was a great
Nice transition.
Nice transition. So yes, the REO Speedwagon fire truck.
This was Edmonds' original motorized fire truck, purchased in 1925, and this was purchased under the administration of our first woman mayor, Alice Kerr. It was one of her major accomplishments.
It's a great looking fire truck.
There it is, and it still runs.
And then we've got the emergency response vehicles.
Carries tools and
Technical rescue truck right there. Followed by what they're calling an air ton truck. Air ton
Technical rescue.
to refill air bottles, supplemental lighting, and other gear to support fire operations.
We've got Tootsie Rolls coming along.
Seven,
Maybe we'll get some of those too.
its volunteer support officers, especially trained men and women, have been caring for the physical, emotional, and spiritual
And you know,
needs.
they talk about this Support 7 truck. I have seen this at different fire scenes I've been at. It's really great. They actually show up to provide support for the victims of fires and other tragedies. They have a trailer that people can go into and actually get out of the heat or get out of the situation and then figure out if they need emergency housing, shelter, that kind of thing, which appropriately they're being followed by the American Red Cross, which of course does that very thing a lot of times. Crime victims, fire victims will find temporary shelter through the Red Cross. So that is what they contribute to the community.
Nick of Time Foundation and its Heart of Edmonds Schools project is making sure our community is heart safe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, comes our national colors. As it passes, I ask you all to rise and render a proper salute.
And now we have the flag coming by, VFW Post 8870, the veterans who are very active in Edmonds, and salute the flag. And there's some Cub Scouts there as well in between the veterans groups.
I think this would be a good time to mention the new Veterans Memorial Plaza.
That's right.
That
That's
is
right.
a new feature down in front of the Public Safety Building
Yeah.
here in Edmonds.
They're raising money for that right now.
And it's a space being put together specifically to honor our veterans.
That's right. That's right. And now we have some military vehicles coming through that are part of the veterans with World War II veterans actually in some of those older military vehicles, and it's great to have them here in the parade on the 4th of July. There is no better way to honor our country than to thank those who have protected our freedom over the many years, and we thank those veterans who are
World War II,
World War II and beyond.
was well named as the greatest generation.
Yes, yes. And they are being appropriately honored today, and it's great to see them all out here. Really, really great to have them. And they're all waving, and these were a lot of the veterans who were in combat during World War II. And there are Iraq and Afghanistan veterans who are being honored today as well as Vietnam vets. I mean, we are really showing the support of veterans in our community. We are a very active community of support for veterans here. We have actually something called Operation Military Family, which is a veteran support organization based here in Edmonds. They do great work in helping returning veterans get back on their feet and get jobs and get housing and help support their families.
I'm sure we'll have more to say about this later, but our parade grand marshal this year, Michael Reagan, renders a very special service to veterans.
He does. I'm very excited to talk more about Michael Reagan when the Grand Marshal comes through, because he does an incredible amount of work for families of those who have lost their lives in the war by painting their portraits or sketching their portraits. We'll talk more about that when Michael Reagan is actually shown here as the Grand Marshal of the parade. But for now, we're continuing to see our military vehicles coming through, honoring those veterans who have given so much, sacrificed so much for our country, and to make sure that we are here to celebrate the 4th of July again. And we have the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, which, the Coast Guard in a coast town like Edmonds, that's a big deal. We rely on the Coast Guard for all the boaters out there who stay safe on the water. And there's a panda following. I'm not exactly sure what that's about.
I'm not sure how the panda relates to the Coast
There's
Guard, but I'm sure there must be a good reason.
Be a reason. We do not see a reason for that, but I wonder, I don't know.
Eat shoots and leaves? I don't know.
Oh my, I think I'm going to be left speechless by that one. But there he is. There is the panda. And now, speaking of 125 years of Edmonds, Larry, let's celebrate
Here
our
we are.
125th birthday.
Our 125th birthday, and that will be the next big celebration here in downtown
11th.
Edmonds.
That will
Again,
be
August
a big
11th.
one, a big one. And following them, Linwood Honda banner, because they are the sponsor of the parade. Linwood Honda is an incredible supporter of community events here in the area. And should we say Linwood Honda is in Edmonds? Like we said, Edmonds Community College is in Linwood.
I think so.
Making it even more confusing. But yes, Linwood Honda.
I purchased my last car from
You
Linwood
did,
Honda,
didn't
and it
you?
was
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Great experience.
So, and then of course after that we have the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce float, which of course the Edmonds Chamber of Commerce sponsors this parade. They put it on. And all of the events that the Chamber does, like the tree lighting and Trick or Treat and the Taste of Edmonds, they are an incredible...
Oh, and don't forget the car show every year. That's one of my
and the
favorite
car
events.
Show. That's correct. That is correct. So that float has been around, that ferry float. Did you know that Jack Hall from the Edmonds Museum and Fred Bell built that float many years ago?
Did they really?
They did.
I was not aware of
Yeah,
that.
they did. And it's been around all
Dave
this
Stern
time.
Golf Classic, named
Yeah.
in honor of former police chief Dave
the
Stern.
late David Stern, who passed away, 10 years ago or so.
Very suddenly and unexpectedly, yeah.
Unexpectedly. And then the Hazel Miller Foundation, of course, that is another incredible organization. They also provide a lot of funding for the 4th of July. Without the Hazel Miller Foundation, there would be no 4th of July celebration. And there is a beautiful vehicle.
There's for the classic
for
car
the
show.
classic car show. That is a lovely car.
Nice
Lovely
Oldsmobile.
car, yeah. Yep.
My first car was an Oldsmobile.
Wow. You're just full of
I am. Just,
connections in history, aren't you? You have a comment for everything.
I try to.
I like that. I like that. And then the Chamber Foundation, of course, which raises money to support events like the 4th of July. It's their nonprofit arm, and they do a lot of good work. And then, of course, we have the mayor of Edmonds, Dave Erling.
Mayor
right
Dave
there,
Erling,
with
running
his
for
wife,
re-election
Susan.
this year.
That's right, unopposed.
He's running unopposed.
Yeah, there he is, Mayor Dave. Yep.
You know, just because he's unopposed now doesn't mean he'll be unopposed at the end.
Really?
In 1924, Mayor Matt Engels was running unopposed until 2 days before the election.
Oh my goodness.
When Alice Kerr filed as a write-in candidate, and she won by 2 votes.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Well, look, we were talking about Michael Reagan, and here he is, the Grand Marshal of the parade, Michael Reagan. Now, he is a man a Vietnam veteran who has dedicated his life to drawing portraits of fallen soldiers.
He's an incredible artist.
He is an amazing artist, and basically anybody who has lost a loved one in the war, he will draw their portrait and present it to the families. And he spends his whole day, all of his day, every day, drawing these portraits. It's just amazing what he does for the community. So he's the Grand Marshal. Rainbow City Band. Look at them.
Oh, and a John Philip Sousa march.
Yes.
Stars and Stripes forever.
Love, love the music. So nice to have music going on, isn't it? That's what a parade is all about, Larry, is the music, the pageantry,
And a sousaphone.
and the sousaphone. And we have some bubbles going on too. And then we have Cascade Elite Gymnastics. That is a gymnastics school in Mount Lake Terrace, actually, that draws students from throughout the area, of course. And there are people gymnastics type routines right on the street.
Well,
actually.
gymnastics is such a wonderful thing for young
Yep,
people.
look at
My
those kids
my daughter
flipping.
was involved in gymnastics as a youngster.
You have
and
to have a lot of flexibility to be a gymnast, I'll tell you that.
Indeed. Oh, they're
Look
doing
at
round-offs.
this.
Okay,
Oh, my
I
gosh.
recognize round-offs.
Can I just say I was not one of those kids?
Neither was I.
I had trouble doing a somersault, but that's another story for another day. Okay, here we have a winner, the winner of the Chamber Trophy right here. This is one of our award winners. It is the Salish Sea Brewing.
Oh, they're a
Look
new
at
business
them.
here in
They are,
Edmonds.
and they are
They're
actually
a craft brewery.
A craft brewery here in Edmonds. Look at that. They are one of our winners, the winner
Are they
of
squirting
the Chamber
beer
Trophy.
or is that water?
I think it's water,
I think it probably is
unfortunately.
too, yeah.
Yeah, they're not giving out beer on the street. I think that would be illegal, actually. So that is one of our winners right there.
Beautiful.
And Larry, we
Oh.
have coming down the street another one of your favorite organizations.
The Edmonds Floridum Garden Club here
happens
since
to be-
1922.
And they are the Citizen of the Year this year for the Edmonds Kiwanis Club awards a Citizen of the Year. And this is the first year they've given the award to a group. And it was to the Garden Club.
And here's past President Patty Green and President Sally Wassel
Yes,
in
they
that
are.
beautiful replica car. I
Beautiful car.
love it.
Lovely.
I
lovely.
love it.
And so the Floridum, tell me, you know a lot about them. What have they done?
Well, they are involved in many things here in the community. They plant the hanging baskets and the corner gardens. They assist the city with that.
Right.
Each year they hold a plant sale, plants taken from members' gardens, and the proceeds of that sale go to a scholarship fund to send folks to Edmonds Community College and other horticulture programs.
And you know, look at this. Not only did they win Citizen of the Year, they won the Mayor's
The
Trophy.
Mayor's Trophy,
The
yes.
Floridum Garden Club float, which is fantastic. I'm seeing the flowers as it's coming down, is actually the winner of the Mayor's Trophy. Look at that. My gosh. Beautiful flowers for that. So that is one
That's
of the parade
gorgeous.
winners, the flowers for the
Mayor's
Floridum.
Trophy. That's
Yep.
wonderful.
And they have a happy 125th birthday. And they're Floridum members.
And there's the
Floridum.
Floridum members.
They are.
There's my special girl, Janice. Hi, dear. Hi, dear.
Well, we didn't have a camera on that. Larry actually had an opportunity to say a special hello to Janice in the Floridum Garden Club. And here's my favorite.
Oh, the
my
Star
favorite,
Wars.
The Star Wars, 501st Legion. These are folks who they dress up in Star Wars, authentic Star Wars costumes. And that's actually something they go around and raise money for charities. So it's for a good cause. For anybody who's a Star Wars fan, and I would consider myself to be one. It's wonderful to see those costumes.
And so,
They're
do they hold a
realistic.
phaser to your head or something? And it's a Death Star?
You know, are you?
Donate or else?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I just know that they do.
No, they do a wonderful job with that.
Yeah, they really do. It's a great organization, and they're licensed by Lucasfilms, George Lucas.
But still, I think if I were approached by Darth Vader, I would be inclined to be a little more generous.
Right. Well, and now we have coming down the street the Girls on the Run organization. This is new this year. They just got their charter for the local area. It is a group that encourages girls to run and stay in shape and get in shape. And they actually have a chapter here now, and they sponsor runs for girls in the area so that they can learn how to be physically fit and actually just have a good self-body image and all those things that come along with being in shape.
Well, running is a fine way
You would
for
know that.
lifetime
You are a
fitness.
runner.
I have been running since the mid-1970s
Yep.
religiously, and I believe in it as a great way to keep yourself healthy. And it's something that will carry over into your later years as I am an example, I suppose.
Yeah, right. Well, absolutely. And how great that they are giving girls
We
an
won't say how
opportunity to do that. So now we have have another. We're just going to have a variety of different floats coming through and different things, but this one is actually from Westgate Chapel. It's the New Heart Place. It's a men's recovery home in Snohomish, and that's what that is about. So, and right behind them, take a look at this car, 1969 Camaro, owned by Aaron Women and
Nice.
driven by Larry Coy. Isn't that a beautiful
Nice.
car? Lovely car. Wow. That is a nice car right
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Customized.
Yep.
Yeah. I hear
What
that
was
V8,
your
those
first
8
car?
cylinders.
What was
My
your first-
first car was a 1955 Oldsmobile.
Oh my gosh.
Coupe.
Okay. Well, now we have to shift over to Edmonds Community College. We interviewed Jean Hernandez earlier. They are the sponsor of this, the presenting sponsor of our live streaming. Thank you, Edmonds Community College, with Jean Hernandez there. And she is there with the group walking along. And this is our local community college, always there helping the community, both students who are just out of high school, who are earning their AA degree, as well as adults who have maybe wanting to go back to school or change careers. There's Jean right there, waving
Okay.
along. We'll wave hi to Jean. Jean Hernandez, we had her on the program earlier. She is an amazing champion of all things education for the area. She's quite a dynamo, I'll tell you. So that is Edmonds Community College.
Here comes some Edmonds Community
There's
College
more.
stragglers
Oh,
here.
and there's more. That's where we say the old "it's more" line.
Yeah.
And Jean had been explaining that there are some students from all over the world coming in. There, some of them their own dress from their country. You will notice that they are in costumes of different backgrounds because these students are coming from the different countries to go to school at Edmonds Community College. And a lot of them live with families in the area. Jean mentioned that. I wasn't aware that they actually do have home stays with local families when they come and stay. And that's a chance to introduce them to our culture and get to know theirs. And what better way to get to know America than to walk in a 4th of July parade, don't you think?
I think so.
This
Yeah,
is-
part of the whole experience of living with the family is to be immersed in the culture here.
Right.
And actually, Jan's sister always hosts a student, and it's just a wonderful experience. Brings her around to all of the functions and takes them down to various beaches and things going on.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It really is. And you know, Edmonds has always had kind of a history of that anyway because of our longtime sister city program with Japan.
Hekinan.
Hekinan, the students who, they exchange both students and adults who come back and forth from both Edmonds and Hekinan. And I always pronounce did I get that right?
Yes, Hekinan.
Hekinan, thank you. And that is a great thing that we do with Hekinan every year is that exchange program. So again, more students in beautiful costumes from their own home countries. And we've got the Edmonds Masons now coming through. That is the local lodge here. There is, they have a nice building, don't they? The Masonic building.
The Masonic Hall. That's
Yeah.
been here for quite some
a long
time.
Yeah, they have a long history in the community. And of course, behind them is the
And wearing their ceremonial aprons.
Yep. The Rainbow Girls, that is affiliated with the Masons, and that is an organization for girls that are in that organization. And they always wear these amazing dresses, lots of sparkle, lots of
My grandfather
glitter.
was a Freemason.
Was he?
Yes, indeed. Didn't
And-
talk much about it. There's a lot of secrecy around the
Oh,
organization.
oh
Yes.
yeah, probably a secret handshake.
Things like that.
Of Job's Daughters, which is another organization for girls where they learn public speaking, leadership, and organizational skills. And then Sunset
beach
Bay
camp.
Beach Camp. Doesn't that look like fun? This is an energetic group.
This is a wonderful resource here in Edmonds. The Sunset Bay Beach Camp gives young people a chance to actually learn marine biology and live it.
And they actually participate in water sports. They do all kinds of things there. They have some overnight programs. It's really quite a wonderful place to play and have fun. And now we have the Edmonds Downtown Organization, otherwise known as ED, with an exclamation point.
And
That-
notice the green umbrellas. That's
Yes,
one of the
isn't that
services they
nice?
provide, providing
Yeah,
umbrellas
yeah.
around town so that in those occasional cloudbursts
Whenever
we
we have rain, we haven't had much of that
Which is
this
rare.
year, but you can use it for sun. And the ED group, these are the business owners in downtown Edmonds who have formed the Business Improvement District, and they call themselves ED. So that's them. And here we have the Segway folks. This is a local business in town that actually rents Segways. And the gentleman, this is the best part, the guy who founded that company was 14 years old at the time. He's 15 now, but he was quite a young entrepreneur. And if you want to rent a Segway, they're right downtown and you can go all around Edmonds. Pretty
Well, I
amazing.
wish I had great ideas like that when I was 15.
I was not thinking about founding a company when I was 15. I don't know about you.
I certainly wasn't. I can't remember what I was thinking about at 15. I can't remember if I was thinking.
And look at this. Speaking of young people to be proud of, Meadowdale High School, one of our 2 high schools that serve Edmonds, and Meadowdale has their cheerleaders here, and
On a classic Fiat Roadster.
and a classic Fiat Roadster. And go Mavs, I have to say that because obviously it's one of our 2 Edmonds high schools, and that's their dance team doing a little routine there. So nice to have the high school involved.
Indeed.
And here's another one of my favorite organizations, and they happen to be my Edmonds new sponsor, so I guess I have to give them a plug. Edmonds Driftwood Players, our local theater company. They've been around a long time. And this is one of their local, I think, musicals that they're putting on with the students.
Oh, Les
this
Miserables.
summer.
They're going to be putting that on.
I
I've seen
believe
with
they
the
are.
T-shirts.
I believe they are, yeah.
We had the pleasure of watching Boeing up at the.
I saw that
which
too.
was a
I
riot.
have laughed. I've never laughed so hard. That was great. That was great. And then we have, another Edmonds School District event. This is the musicians. Every year, the musicians from the Edmonds School District play during the summer. And one of the things that they do after they practice together is appear in the parade. So there they are.
There's a customized PG Cruiser leading them down.
Yeah. So we'll just let you listen to the music because they're great. It is so wonderful to have music like this. It's just all about the parades. And,
I was in the marching band in elementary school and I loved it.
What did you play?
I played clarinet.
Clarinet. I didn't play clarinet. I can't remember. But nonetheless, it is great to have, Edmonds School District actually wins all kinds of awards for its music program. It is one of the things that it's known for. Their high schools.
The drums are drowning you out, Teresa. I can't
I
hear a
know.
word you're saying.
I think I'll wait until they're done.
Oh, there's the clarinetist after my heart.
There you go. And the best part is they learn how to play music and walk at the same time. That's not easy, I'm sure.
I can attest to that. Where I grew up, we had the big parade on Memorial Day, and our band always marched in the Memorial Day hot.
Yeah.
This was on Long Island.
Yeah, and they've even got some flag wavers. My gosh, this is a bigger production than I remember from last time. That's great. Good for them. It's what I was saying earlier before the drums were a little loud. Edmonds School District is known for its music programs, and they win awards for us, so kudos to them. Okay, what we have now coming up, Larry, is, let's see, Muslims for Peace. This is an organization that is brought by the Muslim community here locally in Linwood. There actually is, if you go up kind of near the Linwood Costco, there's actually a building there that is where they worship, and this is that organization. It's the website address, if anybody wants to learn more, is amiseattle.org. AMI-Seattle.org is the website, Muslims for Peace and Loyalty. Great to have them in the parade. Really
Absolutely.
wonderful to have them here.
I love their T-shirts.
Yeah, very, very vibrant, aren't they? They've even got a truck, too, my gosh. And following behind, okay, I was telling you about these guys. Are you ready? These are the superheroes, Wonder Woman, all of my other favorites, all dressed up comic book characters for causes, and they do this for charity. They're a Seattle nonprofit, and they've got some fabulous, fabulous costumes. Superwoman, Wonder Woman. They're
Is
looking
there a
good.
difference between Superwoman and... Oh, I guess there is. Superwoman has an S.
Oh, yes, Wonder Woman has a W. That's right. Yes, and Batman.
All right, and Batman.
Very nice.
Perennial favorite, Batman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Bus and lifeboat coming our way.
All right, and now we have the Compass Courses Maritime Training. This is a local business that's right in the Harbor Square complex down by the waterfront, and they actually do train people to for maritime coursework, like if you are going to be working on a boat or survival training, that kind of thing. They do a lot of for people who are in that field. And look at this rowboat. Isn't that wonderful? All the kids in the boat.
Oh, I love the kid in the
the
black,
sailor suit.
black Navy sailor
Yeah.
and the hat, the
He
little
is a
watch cap.
cutie.
That's great.
Really cute kid, yeah. And look at this car after that. We've got Campbell Nelson. Of course, that's one of their new, isn't that their new style Beetle?
The new Beetle.
Yeah, a little bit flatter, not the kind of round shape
an
that we
icon
really used to.
of our younger days.
Yes, yes. But they're filled with flags, and Campbell Nelson, of course, is located in Edmonds. Campbell Nelson and Nissan they carry.
I never owned a Beetle, but I did own a Carmen Ghia.
Oh, wow, that's a great car.
It was. I bought it brand new off the showroom floor in 1967 for
Uh-huh.
$2,300.
Wow, incredible. And it looks like
Ginger's
we have,
Pet Rescue.
that is Paws in Paradise Boarding and Grooming. That is the former ADIX Bed and Bath. That's what that organization is. And following them is the Seattle Seafair Commodores. So this is the organization that actually sponsors the Seafair, of course, all the Seafair events, which are happening in the summer throughout Edmonds. And there are a bunch of seafair-looking folks all dressed up, and lots of dogs because we've
dogs,
got more Paws in Paradise people. Yeah. Very nice. Oh, and here is an organization near and dear to my heart. This is the
talk
Little
about the
League.
Little League, Teresa.
The Little League champions who went to the Little League World Series. Those are the guys who actually went back to the Little League World Series and competed and made us all proud. And then, of course, other Pacific Little League students behind that. And Robley Corsi, who was waving to us.
If there is a
he was
bigger
the coach.
youth sport than you, I don't know who it is.
Well, we do, sports has been something that, my kids grew up playing. It did a lot for them. And we love to support the youth sports here. It's great to see the kids doing so well and having fun, which is what it's all about. We are now on to the Pink Zebra Cheerleaders. This is a group of kids who learn how to cheer, and they also volunteer for a lot of volunteer projects in town. And they are pink and stripes.
Their pom-poms are
That is don't get more
really
fluorescent than
vivid.
that.
Yeah, when
Yep.
they glow in the dark.
Yep, they might. And coming up behind the Pink Zebra Cheerleaders is our city council president, Adrienne Fraley-Manias. And she's actually driving the car with her son, Dominic.
And the
Dominic
Mazda
is somebody
Miata,
we
close
know.
To my
Yes,
heart.
there she
Also,
is.
another car I used to own.
Oh, that's a nice car.
I
yeah.
measure my life by my cars.
Yep. So there's Adrian. And then followed by Councilmember Fraley-Manias is the Eagle car. And that is...
A 1955 Buick Roadmaster.
I didn't even have to look that one up. Man,
How about
you
that?
knew
No,
that
sorry,
one right
Century.
away.
A Buick Century. That
That
was
is a nice
one
car.
model line under the Roadmaster.
Wow. have to keep you around.
I can tell by the
for
4 portholes on the front.
this. Incredible. And then we have the entry with the Edmonds Church of God Patriotic Superheroes. That is the next one. And that is followed by some Taekwondo demonstrations, which they're always fun to watch.
Oh,
them
that's
do
always
the
fun.
Taekwondo
Yes,
stuff.
and the breaking boards.
Yes, breaking boards, using their super strength or whatever.
Another
Yeah.
beard. There we
Another
go.
beard, yeah.
Another bracket beard. Perhaps it's time to redon the bracket beard.
I don't know. It looked pretty sweaty. I'm not sure you really want to do that. Oh, lots of bubbles coming out of this car, too. They have a bubble machine. So hopefully we'll get a demonstration as they're coming
I
through
hope
here.
so.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Led by their instructor, 8th degree Master Cho. Don't mess with these guys.
And this particular Taekwondo organization is located in Edmonds, and they have been, or actually in the Linwood area, I guess. And Master Cho has been their instructor for about 30 years. And we're getting a demonstration.
Okay, right. That's beautifully orchestrated. Look at
It
the
really
coordination they've got.
Yep.
Good job, guys. Great job.
And I guess I would say doing that in 80-degree heat is not easy, even when you're 10. I'm sure they're a little hot.
Especially the ones in the black outfits.
Yeah, I know. That's it. That's impressive. That's impressive. Okay, guess what, Larry? We have another parade winner coming on. Shermack Construction is
For
the
best
best decorated. And Shermack is near and dear to both of our hearts.
Indeed.
Because they have been a longtime sponsor of My Edmonds News, which we thank them for. And they also were instrumental in helping you with a home remodel project,
Indeed,
I
they
understand.
did. Yes, they tore out our old 1970s vintage bathtub and put in a beautiful tiled shower that we absolutely love. I've never taken more showers in my life, at least 3 a day. It's
That's great.
wonderful. No, Chermak is involved in many wonderful things in the community also. One of the projects that they get involved in each year is the Rampathon, where they actually build a handicap access ramp on the home of someone who needs it.
Yeah, they do that every year, and it's a wonderful, wonderful community service. So now we have our candidate for Miss Edmonds USA. Her name is Jane Stone, and she will be representing Edmonds in the Miss Washington USA 2016 pageant, which I'm guessing that must be for next year, right?
I guess
Because
so.
this is 2015. I haven't got my years mixed up. So it must be for next year that she's doing. And we've got another Taekwondo organization.
For the entire family.
Have I been pronouncing that wrong? Is it Taekwondo or Taekwondo?
I think it's Taekwondo.
Okay.
That's how I say
My
it. anyway.
apologies to all the Taekwondo fans out there who have been listening to me mispronounce, but now I've got it right. And those are some little ones in Taekwondo right there. Very, very cute kids. And some more demonstrations, it looks like. And down the next entry we have, Mary's Towing. Now, this is Mary's Towing, owned by No Ordinary Mary, and including a bubble truck, which would explain why we are seeing bubbles coming along.
Well, no one wants to ever have their car towed away, but you know, if it's got to happen, I want it to be by Mary's Towing.
Well, they've
I
got
want
they've
no
got a
ordinary Mary to
Seahawks.
take
Look
my
at that. They've got a Seahawks tow
car.
truck. I mean, if you're going to be towed away, that would be the
Yeah.
place to do it. Of course, you know, what I've really been waiting to talk about, though, is the other entry in the Mary's family. And so this is called Mary's Erect Auto Parts. And I think that's somewhat of a clever name, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's a wrecking yard filled with auto parts, not surprisingly. And they're based out of Everett. So I guess if you need auto parts, go to Mary's Erect. Is that what you'd say?
I would say so, and
Okay.
repurpose these auto parts. Don't just have them be melted down. Use them before
Right.
they are.
Go check out
Saves
Mary's
energy.
Erect.
It's good for the environment.
Okay. That is a lot of bubbles. I'm actually smelling the bubble maker. That's how strong that smell
Yeah,
is.
it's
And they're
soapy.
colors. They're not just your plain old bubbles. These are multicolored bubbles, folks. They are rainbow bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that would be Mary, probably in the truck.
I would imagine.
Probably a good guess.
If it's not Mary, it should be.
And I
here
think
comes
we
the
might
wreck.
have a wreck. Mary's a wreck. My gosh. That is a wrecked car for sure.
The Edmonds Eagles youth
There's a wreck auto parts. We buy vehicles running or not.
Okay, now we've got the Edmonds Eagles youth lacrosse group, and of course, lacrosse. Did you know, Larry, that lacrosse is actually more popular these days than most of the traditional sports in terms of how the growth of the
I
organization?
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's become a very, very popular sport. I knew that because we did a little lacrosse live streaming a couple of years ago, and it is growing very, very fast nationwide.
Now, somehow I associate lacrosse as a Native American sport. Is that correct?
No, I don't think so. Well, I might not know my lacrosse history, but of course they use those sticks. The kids are carrying them, and one of the reasons it's so popular is lots of kids, variety of size. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be strong, particularly. You just have to have kind of a willingness to learn, and it's just a great sport for kids of all types. Okay, now we have the Edmonds Wildlife Habitat program.
In a classic Mustang.
In a classic Mustang. And of course, this is an organization that promotes wildlife-friendly habitats, and that's what they're all about. That's why the raccoon is in costume there. Bird-friendly wildlife, that kind of thing. Okay.
I've seen a lot of home wildlife sanctuaries, backyard
Yes,
sanctuaries.
there are a lot. We have one in our neighborhood too. Oh, and here's the Linwood Community Band, yet another band playing away, and they are based out of Linwood, of course, but I think they have members from all over, and they are a parade staple. They are here every year in the Edmonds Parade. And there are the recycled clowns, Larry. And it looks like they are wearing things, would you guess, made out of recycled? Hence the guy's jockey shorts?
I would, well, I don't know.
Boxer shorts? I don't know.
I like the tie.
I like the tie, yeah. And they're based out of Edmonds. I didn't even know they existed. I think that's a story idea for you for a future.
I think so.
Recycled
And here
plastic.
comes the Norwegian flag.
Because it's the Sons of Norway. It's late to show this clip. I don't know. We'll see. But this is the most original trophy winner.
Wow.
They are the actual float that they show in many parades, and this dragon actually breathes fire. Is
Holy
my understanding.
lutefisk, Teresa.
Oh my, that was a good one. You just keep them coming, Larry.
I try.
And the guy is actually wearing appropriate Viking headdress, and there is the,
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, and the steam coming out of the dragon. My understanding is they have this one in the Ballard Parade. That would be appropriate.
And then Queen Erica.
And we do have a healthy Norwegian contingent here in Edmonds, I guess you would say, being by the water and all of that. We had some Scandinavian folks come our way. Anybody locally who serves lutefisk, though, following with the
I
theme?
think we hear more about lutefisk than serve it.
Yeah. I think you have to have a special taste for lutefisk.
Well, we do have a certain Norwegian element in our family, and it shows itself in raw fish and strong coffee.
All right. Well, and here we have another one of my favorite entries. This is the Queen's drill team. They do some great maneuvers with their marching, and I don't know if we're going to see anything while they're here, but they are a very talented group.
I love the coordination of these groups.
Me too. Lots of discipline. I think they teach these kids a lot of discipline.
represent Lodge Charter member Russ Michaels, followed by U.S. Navy Admiral Jeff Ruth and family. Let freedom ring.
And this is the Elks float. Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, to be official. Linwood Lodge 2171.
Very colorful. Oh my. Okay, another automobile, a Packard this time.
That's a beautiful one. And we have another car coming up. I can't quite see. We got a little out of order here with the entries we had. I think they stuck maybe a few other entries in there that we weren't aware of. But it looks like this is more Elks stuff. Yep, more Elks. Continuing the Elks theme.
Representing the accomplishments and service of married women, Mrs. Washington.
And this is the Mrs. Washington Globe. It is actually a combination of promoting beauty, fitness, and service through the Women's in Need Foundation. I've never heard of this organization before, but it sounds like a good one.
Well, things that promote fitness are always high on my list.
That's right. And then we have Electro Impact. This is a company that you and I were talking about earlier that we hadn't heard of before. They are actually out of Mukilteo, and they are aerospace automation. So welcome to Edmonds, Electro Impact.
The Pacific Chamber Ballet specializes.
And then we've got the Pacific Chamber Ballet, which offer classes in a variety of different ballet specialties, point, lyrical, hip-hop, and musical theater. And they're based out of Linwood. Pacific Chamber Ballet. And look at the little ones in their ballet costumes. I always love seeing that. And they're doing a little positioning there. Boy, I'd have to channel back to my ballet classes from college to remember what all those things are called.
Ballet in college?
I did. Well, it was a college class. I think it was like one of those I had a few credits to use up, so I did. I know. Better than basket weaving, wouldn't you say?
Oh, indeed. Well, anything that gets you out there moving.
That's right. And then the North Sound Church is here. North Sound Church, of course, is the most beautiful little church building in downtown Edmonds. It is
One of the original churches.
Churches.
Yeah.
Beautiful steeple. You can't miss it there at 3rd and Bell. 3rd and Bell? 4th and Bell?
I'm with third.
Yeah, and it's just or actually 4th and Bell.
Fourth?
I have it in front of me.
You're right,
Yeah.
fourth. Yeah.
Oh, and another award winner, Most
Okay, we got
Patriotic.
Most Patriotic coming
and
here.
that would be, I'm trying to see. Again, we're a little out of order here, so I apologize. I'm not sure which one this is until I see the sign. But they are the Most Patriotic winner. You know what? I think they might be part of the North Sound Church.
There's the trophy, yeah.
They're the
there it is.
singers. It is what it is. This
Oh.
is the singers from North Sound Church.
And they're so good.
Yes, they are. And they won the Most Patriotic Award. And it looks like they have some motorcycles going on as part of the parade entry. And bicycles and scooters, a little bit of everything. And coming up after them is the Edmonds Realty. They have been around for quite a while, Edmonds Realty, and they have an entry here coming up.
Do you recognize the song they're playing back there? It's an old Birds tune.
Yes, and I'm horrible. Just ask my husband sometime about how horrible I am at being able to name songs. Are you going to tell me?
Jesus is just all right
There
with me.
we go. I was going to say that, but I don't want to be wrong. Because that's how it starts out, right?
Yes.
That's my clue. Oh, more
Old
North
Roger
Sound Church.
McGuinn and the Birds.
North Sound Church, continuing on. Now we've got Edmonds Realty. That was a long North Sound Church entry. There were
Wasn't
lots
it,
of
though?
different things. So immediately following Edmonds Realty is the Snohomish County Republicans, 21st District Republicans. And that is the district that a good part of Edmonds is in.
How you
Waving
doing, Alan?
to us. And following them is, oh no, more. I'm sorry. They have a big float going on here. They've got a truck and they've got a float and all kinds of stuff.
Snohomish County showcasing Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, well, he was
the one who put the Republican Party on the map.
the one who put the Republican Party on the map. And I know the name of that song. Do you know the name of that song?
I don't. What is it?
The Macarena.
Ah, okay.
Do you remember
got me
that
on that
dance
one.
that they used to do? There's a dance you do to the Macarena.
There is,
Yes.
yeah. And I remember it was popular, but I think I was in a fog during those years and I missed it.
Okay, well, I don't have a segue for speaking of fog, but we do have Gasoline Alley Car Company located on Highway 99.
Hey, I like that.
And we have more cheerleaders. And I'm looking here to see Shorewood High School, which of course is not in Edmonds, but they are right next to Edmonds. Shorewood and Shoreline
In the
is
Shoreline district,
neighboring
yes.
city to us, of course, to the south. Even though they're in a different county, they kind of are. We know lots of people from Shoreline. They know lots of people from Edmonds. We're right next door to each other. So there is the Shorewood High School flag and drill teams.
Well, I like to be inclusive. I'll say
I do
Shoreline
too.
is part of Greater Edmonds.
That's right. We will make them part of Greater Edmonds.
They probably say Edmonds is part of Greater Shoreline,
Yes.
but that's okay.
Well, it is definitely a beautiful area.
Hey, here
Shoreline
comes
is
the
gorgeous.
funniest award. I
Oh,
wanna see
the
this.
funniest award. That would be the Seattle's Haunted Nightmare at the Nile.
Oh, the haunted golf course.
Well, golf corpse. Remember, golf corpse.
Golf
That's
corpse.
the pun.
Okay.
That is something that they put on every year at the Nile Golf Course, which is a course right there off of Interstate 5 at the Edmonds exit. They do a haunted house there, which I understand is fabulous. It's pretty scary. And they do it at the golf course, golf corpse. So check that out in October during Halloween. They have that. That is the golf course. Golf corpse. I'm done with that pun.
Okay, we're done.
Moving along, the museum.
Hey,
Edmonds
there we
Museum.
are.
There we are. Oh, we finally got our
thank
first
you.
candy. First candy of the day from the museum. They took pity on us. Larry,
Here's the
so
old settlers picnic. Oh,
this-
and there's the pedal car.
there is the pedal car that they auction off every year as a fundraiser for the actually raffle off, right? You buy raffle
Yeah,
tickets
that's
for
a
it.
raffle. You buy tickets
And
on
that
that.
is an actual reproduction of the museum.
And
That's
there's
what
a
the
reproduction
museum
of the
looks
museum?
at in the float. And of course, they are talking about buying bricks, which we talked about
we
earlier
mentioned
today.
that about
Yes.
bricks earlier, yeah, and
Yeah.
the new plaza redevelopment.
And the
Excellent
plaza
chance to
redevelopment.
leave your mark on Edmonds.
Yes, indeed.
Make your place in history. There it is. Get your personalized heritage brick.
And a
I
19
bought mine.
And a 1938 fire engine. That sound is a little different than the ones we heard earlier with the modern
think so,
fire
yeah,
engines. Not
yeah.
quite so
Now-
loud.
I believe that's the same fire engine as in this bowl.
Carpet cleaning, family-owned local business.
Oh, I love that name.
Suck it up. What a
Suck it
perfect
up,
name
carpet
for a
cleaner.
carpet cleaner. I'll tell you. It is perfect. Amazing.
Speaking of a few years ago, there was a landscaping company that was based around here called the Marquis de Sade. And their tagline was, "We'll whip your lawn in shape."
I'm not sure that's appropriate for a family broadcast, Larry, but you've already said it, so it's too late.
I take it back.
Oh, and more candy. That we just got right out of that one to talk about candy. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've got a little bit of, oh no, we've got a Santa on a heart. What is up with that? A Santa Claus? I'm not quite ready for Christmas. Are you?
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July. That's right. Is that part of the carpet cleaning?
I think he
yes,
is,
it
yeah.
is. Wow, he must be hot. If you want to be hot, wear a Santa suit in July. And more Suck It Up. Oh my gosh.
Marketplace Connection.
They are based out of Linwood, by the way, for anybody who wants to know about Suck It Up carpet.
Great conversation.
And then we've got another commercial entry, Marketplace Connections out of Linwood.
Find it at marketplaceconnection.org.
If you want to find out more about that, you might want to go to their website, marketplaceconnections.org, because I don't know what they do. Sorry to say, but I'm sure you can find out more there. And then we have our little ones, West Edmonds Preschool Co-op.
Oh, this will be cute.
Yes, it will be cute.
Students and serve all of Edmonds. They're hoping that they come home.
And guess what? They are going to be located in the Edmonds Center for the Arts building.
Really?
I don't think they've ever had a preschool there before.
Wonderful.
What a great location for them.
Well, it is a former school, former Edmonds High School.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, you know, very convenient for people who are in the downtown Bowl area to drop their kids off at. And Snow King Youth Club. Now, this is an organization that I can not say enough about. They are, kids who just want to learn how to play sports. It's a great place to start. They teach all different kinds of sports. Both of my kids started out in Snow King. It is not an expensive select league. It's just any way that you want to just learn how to play a sport. It's all community volunteer driven, and it is a wonderful organization.
Well, I think it just shows how our community pitches in so many ways, providing all these opportunities for young people.
Yep, they really
It's
do.
wonderful. It's part of what makes this a great place to live that it is.
It does. And all the families and the kids represented. And here's another local school. This is a private school in Linwood, but right across the street from Edmonds on 196, Soundview School. This is actually an IB school that is for elementary, and I think they go through middle school. We have an IB program, International Baccalaureate program in Edmonds Woodway High School, and this is actually that same type of program for younger kids. And more lacrosse. Remember we were talking about how lacrosse has grown? Well, this is another lacrosse group, Edmonds Lacrosse.
I believe we still have Soundview School.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I jumped the gun. We will be having Edmonds Lacrosse soon, but I didn't realize that there was so much
The
Soundview
entire
School.
student body turned out, I think.
Yeah, because I think they only have 125 students. So yeah, okay, here we go. Now we're on lacrosse.
The Edmonds School District for both boys.
Well, we've actually covered some events up at Soundview School.
We have.
When they were doing some units on government, some of the students wrote letters to the mayor, and he
That's
actually
right.
went up and responded
That's right.
directly to the class. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yep. So there is lacrosse. Looks like lacrosse, girls lacrosse from Edmonds Woodway, boys lacrosse from Meadowdale. Again, and Edmonds, they are really taking the world by storm in terms of the growth of youth sports. Lacrosse has become a very, very popular sport.
Coneheads, Shave Ice and Espresso.
And we are at Coneheads Shave Ice and
Shave
Espresso.
ice, real Hawaiian shave ice in Edmonds.
And it is on the Marina Beach, which is where everybody hangs out in the summertime, right? So you can
And
get your shaved
wouldn't
ice.
this be a great day to go down and have a real
Have a
shave
shaved
ice?
ice. No kidding.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Larry, we are coming to the
Coming
end
out.
of the parade.
Have a great
Guess
day.
what? That is the end.
That is the end.
End of the parade. Well, just to wrap up, everybody, we want to have a few reminders. Thank you for joining us for the Edmonds kind of 4th of July parade, sponsored by Edmonds Community College, brought to you by My Edmonds News with assistance from the Edmonds Chamber. Just a reminder, at 2:30 p.m., if you're watching this broadcast at home and you want to go over to City Park, you can watch the firefighters do the
Water ball.
water ball, like a tug of war with water. At 6 p.m., you can head over to Civic Field, and that is where we will have the food vendors available to get your food, to lay out your blanket on the grass, get your spot for the 4th of July. Following that, they will be giving some pétanque lessons from 6-ish on until they have entertainment that starts at 7:30. At 7:30 at the entertainment, after that, the fireworks go off at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, there will be fireworks display, and you can lay your blanket out there, but get there early because the space does fill up fast.
Well, that should be wonderful tonight. There's no cloud cover. The aerial show should be great.
Yep, it will be great. So again, wanted to say thanks to all of those who helped with us. I have a few thank yous. Our crew, Angelo Como and Scott Taylor, Brandon Truesdell, Brandon Jennings, Kristen Zeller, Olivia Fuller, and Eric Brotman. Thank you so much for helping us today. And also, I would be remiss in not mentioning Randy Hutchins from Snow King Signs, who provided both the banner behind us and the truck that we were able to do our high-up live streaming from above Milltown Plaza. And thanks to the resident cheesemonger, by the way, Larry, he gave us an internet connection for today's
Fantastic.
live streaming. So
Wonderful.
thank you to Strom Peterson, who owns the resident cheesemonger.
Well,
From
and
all
thanks-
of us here,
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning into
Yeah.
us. It's been wonderful to be with you again and
It
to
has
give you
been.
the Edmonds 4th Parade again. And Teresa, happy 4th.
happy 4th, Larry. And if you want to see a rebroadcast of this, it's available on myedmondsnews.com. You'll see it there to watch later. Thanks, everybody. Happy 4th of July. Be safe.
Happy 4th of July.